This will be a great time to talk about pep talk and crochet. Hold on. I mentioned. Okay, so I'm trying to get into the chat. Guess I gotta wait till it syncs up. Okay, there we go. Okay, we got audio. Um, what's on the screen has nothing to do with tonight's topic. I do have a picture though of something I'm working on. You can't tell by the picture what it is. I don't guess though. Because I was gonna share it with a crochet club, um, but I decided to switch it up. Okay, so the the title the title of this live stream and topic is to play yarn chicken or no. Like play it or no. Like do you play yarn chicken or do when you see you're at a certain amount of yarn left, do you go ahead and pull out and reapply some other yarn? Because that's where I'm at right now. Okay, me personally, I'm at that either play yarn chicken or pull out the couple of rows that I have gone into. I got one more row to go before I get to the next step. And I'm not exactly sure if I'll have. Okay, so I'm thinking my brain is telling me like I'm gonna have like just a little bit of yarn of this color, and then I'm gonna have to change to another color, which would be cool if I have like the amount that I would like for at least one side, so it can be cohesive rather than my yarn run out a little bit, like run out more than a little bit, like like before it gets to the part that I wouldn't mind it run out. Like if it run out before that part, then I'm like, mm, I don't know if I'm feeling it. Like I don't know because right now the what I'm crocheting is like one color. Uh, so I'm gonna I don't know if I have enough yarn, then it'll be all one color. If I don't, then I have to add another color, and then there's an opportunity for a design because I don't have the same color to add to this yarn, so I would have to change up the color drastically. So then there's an opportunity for design. So would I like the color change to be up top? Would I like the color change to be cohesive and fluid? Like, where's this color change going to take place? I'm thinking because this item that I'm crocheting is designed the way it is, as far as like fasten offs and reconnect. I'm thinking I'm going to add a new yarn here, like at the second connection, because there's another connection. So that way it'll be fluent, and then there's going to be another fasten off. So I'm thinking of adding a new color in that join and fasten off section, because I already have one color in a join and fasten off section. So I'll add another color, and then when I fasten off, I'll come back to the previous color, and then I think I'll have enough yarn for the next step. So maybe not this step and the next step. Uh, with the solid color, but if I add another color in the middle, I could have the color at the top, and I think that's what I'm going for at the top. And then I can also either have a full color at the top, or I could maybe also again play around with the design of the coloring. So I have a few options, and I think I'm going to, like, you look at the rows that you've done and you don't want to take them out, but I kind of do. I'm kind of like want to take it out because I'm kind of feeling like, ugh. Like when I saw my yarn dwindling down, I got like ugh. Like this yarn. Like I got one more row to go before I get to the next step, and this pattern looks like is. It looked like it's taking up a lot of yarn. Um, so, and then, yeah, I don't know exactly, but yeah, it looks like it could maybe take up the yarn that I have to do the row, but I could be exaggerating, but I also could not. So, because there's a lot of shells involved, so that could be why it might take up the amount of yarn that I have, because I'm doing shell, uh what is it called? I think yeah, shell work. So I think I've done 3 rows. I was coming towards the end of the third row, and then I had a fourth row to do. So I'm just gonna have to take out these 3 rows. First, I need to get my yarn that I'm gonna be attaching, if I even have it. And then thinking it's gonna be a good match. I don't know exactly because I hadn't made this pattern before, so I don't know exactly how it's gonna look. Like maybe, I don't know, maybe I could do, let me look at the pattern again. So I was about to say maybe I could do like 3 rows in a different color, and then top it off with the main color, so that way it could maybe flow into the pattern better. I don't know exactly how this pattern is. This is my first time creating this pattern. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna. Let me see. Let me. Okay, the pattern I'm looking, but it really kind of seems like I'm gonna kind of. Oh, it might be all right. Okay, so after this part, because it's not, it's actually, yeah, I think I'm gonna add the new color and then maybe, I don't know if I could do 2 rows, like maybe just 2 rows would help me scoop that main color up to give me some more yarn for the top part. Let's see. Yeah, it's not much to it after it's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. Wait, let me make sure. Row 4, 5, 6. No, row 5, 6, 7. Ay, ay, ay. Let me look at the design again. So I'm trying to see where to place the yarn now that I have to add new yarn. Ah, dropped my hook. My hook went sliding down. And okay, so looks looks like after I finish this section, it's kind of, I'm guessing some shaping. Not well. Guess gonna be a different. It's a different section, but it don't seem like much. Of course, I mean, like how the diagram looking. It don't look like too much that I have to do as far as the next step. So it's almost like, well, is this just gonna be a a tiny section, like a teeny weeny section? Uh, I know the rows are taking up much. So I don't know. I'm at that place where it's like I'm either gonna keep going and see where the yarn takes me, and then I could like make a decision from there, take it out then, and then go from there, or I can take it out. And then by me not knowing exactly how the design is, whew, there's some creative license right here. Right. So, what is it going to be? Okay, let me look and see what yarn I can put with this. Uh, Okie dokie. I'm about to dig into some yarn that I have for another project. Ah, ah. I said I didn't want to do that. I said I didn't want to, but the yarn project, well, okay, hold on. Let me look. Uh, Hi, Kelly. Hi. I'm at the part where I play either I play yarn chicken or I avoid playing yarn chicken. Uh I kind of felt some kind of way when I saw my yarn dwindling, and I was like, do I want to keep playing? I got one more row to go before I get to the next part. I may have enough. What do I do? Do I keep going or do I stop it right here and formulate another plan? Because I could keep going, see where that yarn takes me, and then make decisions like if I don't have enough, then pull it out and redo it with another yarn. I'm at a decision making point here. And I'm making a summer top. Yeah. What is it called? It's called a camisole. I think that's what it's called. From one of these I taught myself to crochet boys. Boy. Um boys books, booklets, kits. I'm and I'm crocheting with a Susan Bates metal case. So it seems like the yarn is being utilized with every stitch, with every row. And I got one more row to go. A couple of more steps. Okay, so let me look in my bag. There I look in my bag and get some yarn that I have for another project. Okay, okay. I mean, hey, what are you gonna do? Oh, me. What I got? Oh, no, found out the new yarn. Okay. Uh, okay. I thought I had one more of that. Uh, I gotta do some color checking to see if these are the colors. Can you hear me? The mic is on. Let me make sure I'm audible. I am asking for advice. I'm not audible. Oh, okay, okay, great, great, great. Okay. All right, I got my yarn. Let me check. Let me make sure. Let me make sure because there's a skein that I could use that's like a similar color that's not, well, it might be with another project. So let me check my colors. I use a color app to help me make sure a little bit more what the colors are. And what is this one? I think this one is mulberry. Think. And maybe I don't need as much of this for the other project for it to matter if I use some of it. This is attempting to make sure I add it. It's a twinkle. This one is a twinkle. What do you call that? Metallic. Trying to find the name. I don't know what color it is. Yeah, mulberry. Okay, so this is mulberry. Mulberry. And what is this one? Because this one is similar. It's close. Let me see what my app is saying it is. It's saying purple. Okay. So that one is purple. Hmm. So I could use the purple. Let me see what color it says mulberry is. Dark red. Hmm. Okay. I'm saying mulberry is dark red. And this other one here is purple. The device falling. Okay. Let me check on colors. Ooh, I never knew. Okay. Yeah. I thought it was what do you call that? Uh Burgundy? I guess that would be burgundy, but I'm gonna take burgundy. Let's see what this is. I don't know. What's a garnet? Okay, a garnet is red, not purple. I'm trying to use this purple though because I know I got this mulberry for another project. And then this isn't even, but the garnet here looks like purple. So I can do what I want to do. Like, how you gonna say garnet when that looks purple? I guess garnet is a little purple. Huh. I kind of was thinking garnet was more red than purple, but it's like a hue of both red and purple. Hmm. What do I do? I guess the mulberry would be boat garnet. Boat garnet is red, more redder than garnet. Garnet is look purple to me. Garnet to what? Garnet to black to brick. That kind of looks brown. I guess like a brick red. Garnet. That kind of looks brown to me. Might need to turn up my brightness. my I have my brightness on dim, so it's not showing the colors correctly. You might want to brighten that up. It might help. Okay, I'm getting brick and like a brown. So would a mulberry be like a brown brick color? Do I have a red? I do have a red. Fault garnet looks red. I got a small bit of red, and it's a metallic as well. I could do a couple of rows in that. I'm not feeling that. Okay, so what am I feeling? I'm feeling this small berry, I guess. I'm saying I guess like that because I don't know how this top's gonna go. This is my first time working on this top. I've had to figure out the pattern, and yeah, I could do a captain's vlog all about figuring out this pattern. And um, for one, it's like it's a pattern that I had purchased like years ago now. I got one of these I taught myself to crochet kits. And so now that I've learned how to read patterns, I'm going back and creating a top out of this book here. It had some special or some pattern stitches. It had a few pattern stitches like the what it said, beginning shell. I learned the beginning shell. It has an open shell. I learned that, and it has a closing shell, which I haven't gotten to yet. So I haven't looked at that one too hard. Um, and it's not written in the pattern, written out. It's the pattern has the stitches on the side has special stitches or something like that, pattern stitches. And then inside the pattern, when it gets to that part, it will say do beginning shell stitch in the next single stitch, single crochet, or do a beginner shell, a beginning shell in the next SC. So I have to I had to go to when I first started out, I had to go to the section of the pattern and look at how that is created. And now that I know how it's created, I don't have to go back to that. But I did have to refer back to it quite a bit till I got the gist of it. The same thing with the open stitch. The pattern says do an open stitch in the next SC. So then I had to go to that session, look and see how to do that. And I had to do that a couple of times till I got it. And I'll do the same thing when it comes to the closing shell section. I'll refer to that. Um, so yeah. Also, this pattern is like it tells me like what to do, but it feels vague. It feels quite vague. Like do an open shell stitch in the net SC and okay, but before it said that, it said continue pattern. Continue. No, it said. Hold on, I can pull it up because I was trying to remember it from memory. Uh, and I really just had to force myself into this pattern and cheerlead myself through to the part where I'm at right now. It says, where am I? Work beginning shell in same SL. No, same stitch. Okay, good, good. Um, okay. Okay, this part here. So the first part was pretty simplistic. I could follow that, but then this second part, this open work section, I had to refer to the picture to get my mind to be like, okay, I think you're talking about that in the picture. And okay, so then my mind grounded what the pattern was translating so that I can create it. Because there's no, other than the picture, there's like an outline of measurements. There's a photo of the measurements of the top, the bottom section, and for some reason it has a back section, even though this is created with rows, but it just has like a picture of the top section. It has a picture like a square showing the back. It says back, and then the top section says front, and then it just have the measurements. There's no diagram. So I really was like, oh, I could really use a diagram right now to see where to put these stitches because I had to figure out where my sing- single crochet stitches were so I could place the next stitch on top of it correctly instead of like putting my stitch on uh, a loop that wasn't a stitch from a previous stitch made. Yeah. So let's see. Work in, okay. It says work in pattern. No, it doesn't say that. It says work in EST space PATT. And I was like, East? What's Pat? I was like, pattern? I guess in pattern. So I had to look that up. I looked that up. Yes, I was correct about the pattern. I looked up the EST, but it's not on the abbreviation. It is, I guess, existing. So, so it says work in existing pattern for the amount of shells. It gives the number and SC and next SC work. And next SC work open shell. So with this pattern, I kind of had to read along uh, um, ahead a bit, like maybe one, two sentences ahead a bit because it still wasn't finished giving the instructions for the next um for the row. So I guess maybe it had to do with like printing wise because I'm kind of used to like one row being the instructions for that row, kind of sort of. with the other patterns that I had. Okay, so this one has a couple of rows that continues the pattern, but for the most part, it looked like I got the picture to look like the the pattern. Now my numbering didn't seem to match. All my numbers didn't seem to match um with the pattern. I didn't know how the pattern was counting the shells because it was counting the shells and the single crochets. So for like the first part and the second part, I made sure that my shells and single crochets match. But then when it got to the middle part, the open working section, is that what it was called? No, the open work section. When it got to that part, I the numbering didn't add up. The number of shells, and it didn't seem to. Sometimes it seemed to, sometimes it didn't. So maybe sometimes I counted it correctly and maybe sometimes I didn't. So yeah. So on to the next section. Um hmm. I kind of don't want to take out my work now. Let me think. I'm gonna, if I do, I'm gonna use this mulberry. I guess I'll use this mulberry. Um, my color app said that this mulberry was a dark red, which I was going for a bit more so than the purple. So dark red seems to be cool. And hopefully I have enough for my other project. I don't know. Cause I was working on a scarf and I think it has a big mulberry section on the scarf. I was working on my Sally ragdoll scarf. But that's a whip actually. So I guess I'm just gonna go with what's currently flowing right now, and that's the summer top that's currently flowing at the moment. I was crocheting. I didn't mind it being one color, but then I saw my yarn dwindle to a handful of strands, and I was like, hmm, decisions. Let me get back to the chat and see. Okay. No more comments. Oh, if nobody's tired, you can maybe come up. Garnet is many shades of red. Oh, okay, and purple. Mm-mm. Alright. Mulberry is a burgundy to dark red. Yeah. Oh no, you said burgundy to dark purple. Let me look at my color. My color. Oh, This is what I could do. This is what I can do. What can I do? What can I do? What does that say? I don't even know. Let's see. Okay. What? Oh, trying to. There we be. I hadn't done that in a while. Let's see if it shows up. Oh yeah, I can do that. Show. Nope, it didn't show up. Hmm. I'm trying to jot the letter down. Oh, Lord. Why won't it press? It won't go. I can't put the letter in there. It won't. Fedgeroni. Okay, I'm gonna go through. Gonna go through this way. Okay. Not. Oh, there it is. my devices aren't charged up all the way. I had them charging. So I might not have enough juice to do a long live with the guests, especially since they're not charging at the moment. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna add the mulberry to this yellow gold. I have some yellow gold yarn so that I'm gonna take out the few rows that I've done, and then add the mulberry and do the cause it's like in this section like four rows are to be done, and then then it's fastened off and then goes to the next. So I got three rows done now, and my battery on my iPad just said I got a minute. Oh no, I got 10 seconds. Um, I'm about to be in the dark at the moment, and I don't think I got any. I might have some candles, at least so I won't be in the dark. I'm trying to think where they are right now. I might not be able to crochet anything right now unless I totally crochet in the dark because my phone is on low battery and my iPad. Hmm. Got a flashlight. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know what to say, y'all. I'm sitting in the dark right now. Um, I was about to do this live stream. Now I'm sitting in the dark. So yeah, so the pattern that I was working on, I was learning how to translate that from round to round, figuring it out, um, learning patterns, figuring them out. Had to pep rally myself into approaching the pattern because it's been some times where I look at the pattern, I wouldn't mind making it, having the item, and then it's like looking at the pattern. But yeah, this year I have made it a priority to read patterns and learn patterns. It's more approachable. Um, I'm familiar with like pattern layouts. Uh, and I do see that some patterns are different. Some patterns have the instructions like written out inside of the pattern, like the special stitches. It's sometimes written inside the pattern and on the side of the pattern. And some stitches only have it on the side, and it just, give you a reference as to when you need to do that special stitch. And at first, that wasn't my favorite pattern. That wasn't my favorite go-to pattern. I started reading patterns with the pattern telling me, um, like the special feature at hand is like, okay, now we're gonna do this special feature, and here's how to do it. Do this, do this, do this. So that was like one of my first patterns, but now kind of like a more advanced. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So a more advanced pattern. This is an intermediate pattern. So yeah, so it's not telling me do this, do this, do this inside the pattern. It's telling me that like in another section of the pattern. So okay, so that's the difference between an easy pattern and a beginner friendly pattern and a intermediate pattern. So this is more intermediate. Well, yeah, it says intermediate, and I'm witnessing intermediate behavior within the pattern because it's 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 a bit brief in what it's saying. It does give numbers, and at times, like I was saying, like in certain sections, I my numbers weren't adding up, and I don't know if it was because I made a mistake or maybe it's a misprint in the pattern. I don't know. So I kept going. I figured it out. Um, um, I was thinking as long as I get like the sides to what the pattern says, I think it'll be all right. And it was a turn pattern, so I did start seeing a pattern with like with that. Like on one side, it'll be more shells and single crochets, and then the other side would be less, and then you turn it, and then so now the last is the beginning. So then yeah, whatever. It was like it was working back and forth. I don't know. It kind of seemed to make sense to me, but now that I'm talking about it, it kind of don't seem to make sense. But I think the goal was to do uh what was on this side is on the other side. So, and then to also keep in contrast with the or keep congruent with the pattern at hand. So if I've been putting a shell stitch or open shell stitch in a single crochet, then I kept to that. I didn't put a open shell stitch in the top of a double crochet. So that's when I knew like maybe I didn't do enough uh or maybe I did too many um, shells before I got to the open works section. So I always put my open shell stitch inside of a single crochet stitch because that's what the pattern said. So that's what I stuck with. I didn't change that. If there was any other numbering mishaps, I don't know exactly where or where I did that wrong. Now, it was a couple of rows where I was like, it didn't seem like it was adding up with how many open shell stitches I needed and single stitches because it just said open shell stitches and shell open shell stitches and single crochets add up to 8. Like every row had its own number. And some rows it seemed to add up, and some rows it seemed to not. So I'm like, is it counting it? Is it counting in a single crochet with an open shell stitch? And I thought that too with sh- the um the shell stitch and the single crochet. It would say like a number. It would say like 7 single crochets and shell stitch, and I just counted it to make it fit. Like it looks similar. And then I also made sure I was crocheting into a the top of the single crochet, because there's some like strands of yarn that come from the sides of the single crochet and the double crochet stitches, so I wanted to make sure I avoided going into that, making it, wrong and off-putting. And I made sure that I went into the top of the single crochet, and how I did that was I identified it being at the top of the previous double crochet stitch. So I looked for that previous row double crochet stitch, and if I didn't see it, then I knew that that part wasn't the single crochet. But when I located the double crochet from the previous row, I located that top stitch being the top of the single crochet, so I would put my stitches there. So I learned that from the previous patterns that I've read, utilizing the diagrams. So with the diagrams, you know what stitches come in the previous rows. And also with the stitch alongs, the teacher, the hostess of the stitch alongs, was showing us how, looking at the previous rows, we could tell where to put the next stitches. So thank you for that. That really helped me to uh, identify and verify where to put my stitches and ongoing projects and patterns. Okay, I'm gonna leave the chat just so I could have a bit of juice in my iPad. I don't know how far my battery went down on it. Other than when I last looked at it, it was at 10%. So I'm pretty sure it's a bit less than that now. Um, my Venmo is on the screen. Also, let me put it in the chat. I have Venmo and Cash App. Okay. Well, I was on a bit of a roll there. I was working on this project all day. I'm trying to think if I was working on it yesterday. Um, I think I started it earlier yesterday morning. So I was working on it and I was enjoying working on it like throughout the day and took a bit of a pause uh, after a while, after working on it a while, after I got like the first part done. Or actually, well, yeah, the first part, and then the second part would be the open work section. And then I took a break after the open work section. And, so yeah, I was pausing in between sections. And now there's like 4 rows of this section. I'm 3 rows in, but I'm about to take it out so that I can allow myself like an extended part so that I could utilize the main color for my top part because I think I really would enjoy the top part being in the main color. This top is created from the middle down and then from the top up. So it's quite different from other tops, I guess, in the way that it's made, being that it's made from middle, the middle, middle, middle down. So I made the middle down part, and then I've started from the top, the middle to the top part. I started that part. So like that's gonna be a color, and then the middle part's gonna be a color. And so I'm like, I kind of wanted the top part to be the color. So I gotta make sure that's gonna be. Oh, oh yeah. If I get my candles out, I'll have my candles, but I still won't be able to live stream for long. Due to the fact that my phone isn't charged up all the way. Even if I had candles on. So yeah, really enjoying the yarn arts and pattern reading that I've made a priority this year. Uh, uh, so that I could utilize these. I taught myself to crochet kits that I have. They have some great patterns in them. Um, I had to learn how to read patterns first, though. I taught myself to crochet, but I had to teach myself how to read patterns. Okay. So now that I've taught myself how to read patterns, taught myself to crochet, now we can step up to these patterns because it is say in the book, at the top of the book, the first part of the book, it says to practice your stitches, and as your stitches become clearer and neater, then pursue the patterns. I thought, you know, even though the book said that and I read that, I'm thinking I can hop in and do the patterns to learn to crochet, but oh no, contraire, mon frere, you gotta learn how to read the patterns and crochet and then come back to the stitch, come back to the pattern, which is fine by me. I've done it. I've accumulated the skills, and now here we are attempting my second pattern from, I think, from this book. My second pattern, my second um, pattern from this book. The first book, I kind of felt a bit confused, even though I got it done. Um, but yeah, now that I understand the pattern layout, I can approach it better, and um, I'm more grounded while at the pattern and understanding layout. And this, I think this might be my, well, it could be like one of my first, what do you call it? Intermediate. So I do see a difference. It's almost like, okay, intermediate, it really kind of be like, okay, you already know what to do type of pattern. Like, and I'm like, I mean, I'm figuring it out. I'm figuring it out. I actually made a couple of mistakes and corrected them, learning the pattern. But yeah, it kind of gives that feeling like you know what to do with the intermediate pattern. So I approach it like, okay, this has already been done. So it's doable. That means it's doable. That means it can be done again. It's already been done, it can be done again. So we finna get to the part where it's already done. We. So that's how I've been approaching it to all my um newbie crocheters, um ready and willing to uh crochet a stitch a day. Those of you that have asked me to teach you how to crochet, so that's more common than when I first approached it. I When I first approached the pattern, I had, okay, so approaching it now after learning to crochet, like it's there, like it was there, like my same kind of same, not on the same level though, but the same sayings just a bit that I had, just not on the same level. I was more calm, and like I said, like the mantra I use is, okay, it's already been done, so that means it can be done again. Let's get to it. Like, let's let's and so that's what's been helping me. and looking at all the things that I mentioned about uh, locating stitches, and I kind of had that feeling to where I wanted to ask somebody, is this where the stitch is? Um, so when that did arise, my brain kind of swirled a bit of like where I could ask that question, possibly in, crochet groups. And then I came back to my knowledge of um, the diagram and how the diagram looks and how the stitches sit on each other, and locating it from there. So that's what I did to in that situation where I wanted to say, is this the right, the right area, the right section? Because there were strands in the way to where they kind of resembled the place where I was supposed to put a stitch. Like I mentioned, like the sides of the double crochet and the sides of the single crochet. Sometimes they so in this pattern they've been creating designs within the pattern. They're designs, they're not stitches. So I've had to overlook those designs and make sure that I kept my stitches on top of the stitches. Um, because those extra strands from the double crochets and the single crochets, they've been creating X's throughout the pattern, and you can see it when I share it. You'll see the designs, and cause so when I first saw it, I was like, where to put the stitch? But yeah, learning the diagrams. Diagrams will show you how your stitches sit after you've placed them. And so, yeah, I looked at the previous row to see, because I knew that I had placed my single crochets on top of a double crochet. So I looked for a double crochet so that I could locate the top of the single stitch. That's how I did it. Or else, because at first, before I did that, I was placing it on the side of the single crochet in those extra lines. So like it really wasn't going where it was supposed to go. So I had to take that out and locate that previous row so that I could locate the top of the stitch and place it accordingly. So diagrams, learn diagrams. It helps. Because I know I've heard that I'm not that I know, but I've heard that some people like diagrams, and then there's some people that don't. There's some people that read patterns without diagrams, and then there's some people that won't. So I don't know. Diagrams are cool. Like diagrams, I I think. Well, I was about to say I think a pattern could be followed if it was just a diagram, but I've seen some diagrams and I'm like, what the heck is that? Words, please. So I like both of them. I like word in the patterns and I like the diagrams because I like to see what those diagrams translate into. Like I like to see it in both forms. When I need to see it in both forms. But yeah, being in the crochet groups, you get to see the diagrams because somebody has shared diagrams. And I was looking at them diagrams and I'm like, what is it? Like, okay, I know what it is because they posted it, but I I guess I would have to try it with my yarn and hook in hand to see if I could follow it. Uh, but yeah. These patterns in this, I taught myself to crochet and knit kits that I have. They do not have diagrams in there. So I have referred to the pictures. It has a picture of the item that I've been referring to get my mind like, okay, so that's how it's supposed to look. Okay, so that's the section we're working on. And then I also kind of count the stitches if I can in the picture to make sure I'm putting my stitches accordingly. Uh, I didn't have to do that on a lot of it, but I did have to do that on the open work section and on the trimming. So when the words was like, okay, now we're working on trimming, this the last row, put your single crochet stitches in each row, I mean in each stitch, something, 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 something. I had to read that like a few times and then I had to take out what I had because I didn't do it correctly. um, it was telling me to put the single crochet stitches in each stitch in addition to putting 3 crochet stitches where I needed to put the 3 uh, single crochet stitches. So it had like specific things as well as that basic thing. So I had to do both of those things in that pattern. So yeah. for it to for it to look right. So I looked at the picture to see how that was, and yeah, my trimming wasn't right because I wasn't following the full pattern instructions. So took it out to follow the full pattern instructions, and it looks a bit more similar to the picture now. I have no clue why, but my comments didn't show up to where I can put them on the screen. My comments didn't show up. So yeah, thank you, Kelly, for showing support. I can't see you in the chat. I don't know why. So yeah. see some legs here. Drop my crochet hook anyway. I gotta remember that I dropped it. If I don't pick it up now, then pick it up later. I remember where I recall it dropping from. I was on my way to having that shirt completed. I guess I still am. I'm trying out that practical part of crocheting. I'm here is practical, so yeah. Um, Last year I crocheted some cardigans for warmth, and this year I've crocheted a couple. I've crocheted a top for coolness, some summer tops for coolness. So I was looking in the every way with granny crochet um for like a shape to crochet into summer tops, and it seems like it's quite a bit. Seems like you could just take a shape and maybe make like a front and a back panel and connect them. I was looking to see like what would be practical. It looked like the half hexagon could be a practical top, summer top. Um, Also, I'm looking at some granny squares. They look like they could be practical. Granny squares and granny triangles, like put together. I see a pattern for that, like a top like that. Some granny squares. Um, I see a granny square blouse. Now that's my judge. I saw someone make a tutorial with that's like a similar top, and it's on my TBR, or should I say my TBC. That top is so pretty. I like how it's elegant, and I could see it be crocheted in like different um for different seasons or occasions, seasonal occasion, especially Christmas. I could see it being like a Christmas blouse, a beautiful Christmas blouse. So yeah, that's on my TBR. I mean, my TBC. My TBR is books to be read. My TBC is to be crocheted, to be read, to be crocheted. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and go so that I can have a bit of juice left in my phone so that it's not drained completely. Thank you, supporters, for showing your support. TTFN.
The pink moon's glow in April's air whispers secrets soft and rare. It calls the dreamers, hearts aligned, quiet truths the world can't find. Libras. April skies are glowing soft and wide, a whisper in the stars, the full moon's tide. Petals fall like promises in bloom. Tonight we rise beneath the pink lit moon. E.g. named for the wildflowers waking from the snow. Under the pink moon I realign, balance in my breath, peace in my mind. Libra's light is leading me through, truth in my heart and love in view. I shine, I bloom, I'm born anew under the pink moon. The air is calm but shifting deep within, and soft and wide. April skies are glowing soft and wide, a whisper in the stars, the full moon's tide.